I'm not gonna lie, I was 16 when this movie came out, and I liked it a lot more then because I was like, Star Wars is back. It's good to have Star Wars back. And now that I'm older, it's time to be honest with myself about how this movie really made me feel inside. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So, the plot of this movie is a little convoluted, I'm not gonna lie. Luke Skywalker went missing a while ago. And in his absence, a fragment of what remained of the Galactic Empire, known as the First Order, is slowly rising to power using fear to manipulate the galaxy. And they just finished construction on this new Death Star called Starkiller Base that instead of just using a Kyber crystal to go pew, it, I assume, uses an entire network of Kyber crystals because the beam does look very lightsaberish, but it absorbs the energy of an entire sun and uses that. It's planet-sized, so I don't even know how, whatever. But there's a map that's supposed to lead the Resistance, which is the New Rebellion, to the location of Luke Skywalker, and it's been trusted to this old man that lives on this desert planet that's almost not Tatooine. And Oscar Isaac's character, Poe Dameron, who is a Resistance pilot trusted by General Leia Organa, goes to retrieve that part of the map, and it gets Kylo Ren, who is an old protege of Luke Skywalker and the son of Han Solo and Leia, is like third in command of the First Order, and he comes to take that piece of the map, but Oscar Isaac puts it inside of this tennis ball called BB-8, and he rolls to safety with it. And then BB-8 meets a scavenger lady named Rey, and she goes to this like bizarre place at around the same time that Poe Dameron, after being taken up to Kylo Ren's ship, meets a stormtrooper named Finn who decides to defect from the First Order and be just on his own. So they try to escape, they crash, they land back on Jakku, and then Finn crosses paths with Rey, and they try to escape together. They have to get on the Millennium Falcon to leave, and then they get captured by Han and Chewie, and then the actual story starts. Now, I'm no stranger to the fact that Star Wars, the original Star Wars movie, had a few coincidences in it, but the entire premise of this movie is predicated on an insane number of coincidences just lining up just the right way for things to take place in whatever order, and it's just a little bit insulting, I'm not gonna lie, but things get worse. They go to this almost not Mos Eisley Cantina place run by this orange woman named Maz Kanata on whatever planet, and she just so happens to have Luke's lightsaber from Episode 5, which used to be Anakin's lightsaber. I don't know how it was retrieved. I thought it was gone. I thought it was lost. Whatever. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Kylo Ren shows up. Some people get shot. Some planets get blown up in the... I don't think it was the Elenian system. I think it was the... whatever system it was. If you know what system got blown up, what Republic system in Episode 7 got blown up, please tell me. I legitimately don't remember. If it sounds like I'm detached from this review, it's because I really just... this movie. And I'm very tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get tired sometimes. I'm a human. But then some stuff happens. Rey gets captured, taken up to Starkiller Base, and then they're like, well, we need a plan to destroy the Starkiller Base now. Now we need a plan. Didn't need a plan before, but we need a plan now. Maybe they didn't know about its existence yet, but they had to because they had blueprints. Whatever. Finn's like, hey, I used to work there. I know my way around. And it's like, well, I used to be a janitor. It's like, you used to be a janitor? What? You can't... yeah. And so they go through. Rey learns the Force because she thinks about it really hard. And they escape. Finn fights Kylo Ren with a lightsaber for a while. Then Rey fights Kylo Ren with a lightsaber for a while. And Rey wins. The planet explodes. Yay, we win. And then Chewie and Rey go to find Luke Skywalker. Rey holds his lightsaber out to him like this. And he takes his hood down and just looks at her. And then the movie ends. That's honestly one of the most awkward endings in any movie. I'm not gonna lie, I super enjoyed the movie when it first came out. I thought it was a great return to form for Star Wars. I couldn't deny how similar it felt to A New Hope, but I was like, maybe they did that on purpose to recapture that flame that they lit almost 40 years ago. And honestly, on its own, the movie is plenty enjoyable. It left a lot of room to expand on the lore. It's like, where did Supreme Leader Snoke come from? Why did Kylo Ren turn evil? Who are Rey's parents? Why is she so gifted with the Force? Where did the First Order come from? All these things. But it's just like, it doesn't... I can't talk too much about The Last Jedi because I'm not there yet. But it's just, there's so much potential that's created in this movie, but clearly had no intended payoff, and it just retroactively makes this movie worse because it's like, oh, you ask all these questions and you don't have any answers in mind for them, or you make us ask all these questions rather, and it just feels like they were kind of trying to pull the rug out from under us. I don't hate the movie at all. I'd probably watch it if somebody put it on in front of me, but I'm not gonna seek out to watch it again because I've already done that, and it's just not all that spectacular. I forgot the root word of the word I made up. Also, I was going to make an entire video about this, but it's not worth it. There's one thing about Finn that really infuriates me, and it's that in the expanded lore from the new trilogy, they say that FN 2817, which is what he used to be, 2187, 2817, he was like top of his class. He was an ace stormtrooper. He was so good. He was so efficient. He was a machine in all the simulations and all the training. But for some reason, he was a janitor, and on his first field mission, or at least it looks like it's his first field mission, he freezes up and doesn't fire his weapon once. So it's like, were you a janitor or were you top of your class? Because there's no way that if you have John Wick, you know, in your group of Marine recruits, that you're just gonna have him as a cook when the war is going on. You're gonna stick him in the front lines because he's dangerous and he's gonna get the job done. Also, it's stated that they condition stormtroopers from childhood for the First Order. That doesn't work because the First Order is a growing threat. It's developing in the time that Luke Skywalker has been gone, so they were waiting for him to leave and the Republic to be unguarded by the Jedi Order to start rising to power, right? Makes sense. And that being said, it's only been 30 years since Return of the Jedi took place. Who knows how long it took for Luke to start training new Jedi? Who knows how long after that Kylo Ren was born? Who knows how long after that Rey was born? Who knows how long after that Finn was born? None of it really makes any sense in retrospect, because Finn could not have been conditioned from childhood, because he would have been born probably like 5 or 6 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. So unless the First Order was going out finding children, training them in secret, and just hoping that they would have the chance to erect the First Order in the first place, that doesn't make any sense. You can't expect me to believe that they were conditioning them from childhood. I know that this doesn't really belong at the end of a review, but it's just, I'm not going to really get another chance to talk about it unless I make an entire video about things from Episode 7 that really irk me, and that's not exactly the purpose of a review, so let's actually get on with this. Star Wars Episode 7 has some very interesting set design, production design, costume design, some great performances, lovely acting. I love the score. The music is great in the movie. I mean, it's Star Wars music. It's always going to be great. It pulls on just the right strings to make you feel nostalgic and make you feel like the movie is actually really, really good. It gets your creative juices flowing. You want to come up with a bunch of fan theories after you see the movie, which is always fun to do. A lot of speculation, a lot of potential for more storytelling. Episode 7 in itself is not bad, but none of these things really save it from what happened after, and unfortunately it does drag this movie down too. So Star Wars Episode 7 is worth the price of admission. That's really the best I can say about it. I'm sorry. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Have you seen it? Yeah, you have. What did you think about it? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below and educate me. And as always, if you want more videos from me, leave a like, subscribe, check out my Patreon if you're feeling really generous. Check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, all the things that I own. And I'll see you soon.